Hello, FoodWISE listeners. I've been a little quiet the past 3 weeks or so as school has started for me at Western Washington University, and I wanted to launch a new type of video, and I'm going to do that with a play on the acronym that I use in FoodWISE. So this is easy and best recipes for FoodWISE foods, beginning with W, I, S, and E. And I'll say a few words and give a recipe or a link to a recipe, and then a source or two so that you can follow up. And we are going to start with W today. So W, wheat comes to mind. There is so much written about wheat and gluten. So what's the deal with gluten? I talk about this in FoodWISE. Let's just take bread first. As we know, reading FoodWISE, that bread in a supermarket by and large really hasn't gone through the long yeast fermentation that we associate with traditional home baked breads. And as I write in FoodWISE, edible yeast plus edible whole grain flour make whole food bread. Yeast plus processed flour plus BHT plus caramel coloring plus hydrogenated vegetable oil plus wheat gluten, vital wheat gluten, plus unspecified enzymes do not. Store-bought bread is typically made with commercial yeasts that are used to quickly raise the dough. It's not uncommon for a substance called vital wheat gluten to be added, and it may well be contributing to the digestive discomfort and intolerance we see connected to gluten consumption. There's also a hefty dose of chemicals in the bread to act as dough conditioners, emulsifiers, preservatives, and quote unquote bread improvers. So I say in FoodWISE, as for me, I'll take my fermentation slow. And the recipe I use is a bread that I've made for decades and decades called Gigi's Sahara Bread Redux in FoodWISE. And it's a takeoff on the famed Sahara bread recipes. But also try recipes adapted from Sally Fallon's Nourishing Traditions. And in the vlog, I give 2 websites where the cooks have done just that. And these recipes involve fermenting or soaking basically grains before you use them in bread making. And so one comes from kitchenstewardship.com and the other bumblebeeapothecary.com. And for more information, I've got a couple of references for you, which I hope you'll enjoy.